Hi everyone, I wanted to share with you a pocket stroke journaling spot that I made for this little journal yesterday, and to do a very quick tutorial and perhaps give you some ideas of how you could use the journaling spot in a different way. It's very simple. It's the Turkish Map fold that I've used, and let me show you what I had in mind for this little journal. Now this one's almost finished, so I'm not going to do a flip through. When it's finished I'll do a flip through in more detail. Just for the time being, I just wanted to show you this is the little thing that I created yesterday. Excuse me. As you can see, there's a space behind for a pocket. This flips up, it's magnetized behind the flower, it flips up, there is a journaling spot there and another one here, and then if I just hold it gently at the bottom and fold it out, and you can see there's another journaling spot there. And for those of you that are familiar, you'll readily see that this is the Turkish Map fold that I've used. Now there are 1,000,001 videos, tutorials if you will, on YouTube showing you how to do that fold, but if you don't want to look for those, hang around because I'll do a very quick one in a moment or two for you. So that's my little journaling spot that's going in Jackie's journal, and if I put that away I will just show you another little variation on that theme. This is one I made using some botanical book page, and at the front I've just taken the point and tucked it behind the lace here. Now it's not just lace on its own, there's a double piece of vellum that I've glued at each side to the page, and I've put the lace on top as a decorative feature. So as you can see, the point just tucks in behind it, and this would go on my journaling page, my journal page rather. Now if you don't want to create a tuck spot in behind it, you just glue the whole of that back side, if you will, to your page. If you don't want to use magnets, because if you don't use magnets, as you can see, I think you can probably see it just springs open, because that's what the bottom looks like. If you don't use magnets, it will just spring open, because there are quite a few folds that are working against you and will want to open up the journaling spot. So if you don't use magnets, as I keep on saying, what you can do is either put a little piece of twine or linen thread across the back here when you stitch it or glue it to your page rather, and you can put another piece that way depending on which way you want it to tie. So you could either tie it over the top or you could tie it horizontally, whichever way. So that's another way to close this little journaling spot if you don't want to use magnets. So let me show you very quickly how easy it is to do the Turkish Map fold. You need a square of paper, and all I have here is a piece of ledger paper. I have had 2 attempts already this morning to record this video, so you can see there are additional folds in here that might hinder me when I'm actually trying to fold this into place, but we'll take it step by step and hopefully that won't happen. So as I say, you want a square piece of paper, and if you're like me and cannot for the life of you get accurate 90-degree corners to create a true square, then I will put the link down below to the video that I did previously for my flip up flip out journaling spots that gives you a quick tip on how to create a true square. When you have your square, your first fold is a diagonal fold like so, and burnish well. Okay, open it up and fold another diagonal to the opposite corner like so, and burnish. Now when you open it out again, you should have valley folds for each of those diagonals. Okay, flip your paper over so that you have mounting folds for your diagonals. And if I just push mine slightly, you can see I have mounting folds. Okay, fold your paper horizontally in half and burnish again. Okay, and open your paper out. So you still have your mounting orientation for your diagonals, and your horizontal fold should be in valley orientation, like so. What you want to do now is take your two fingers, your thumb and your index finger on each hand, and put them on either side of the horizontal valley fold and just gently push up. And what you will find is that center point will come up, and as it does, just gather in your diagonal folds and you will get that. It looks like that, and then underneath it looks like so. And burnish again your folds. Leave it oriented with the point away from you and this long edge towards you, and you want to find the center point along this long edge. Now I'm really lucky here because fortuitously I have a line on my ledger paper that comes right down from the point down to the center point on this long edge. You can either measure it with a ruler and put a pencil mark, or you can just lift up this top flap and you can see these two folds underneath, and where they meet, that is the center point. So if you just keep an eye on that and drop the top flap down, take your toppermost point here and fold this point to your center point and burnish. So your back flap stays put. This is just your top piece. Now do the same with the other side and fold in to the corner. Not to the corner, sorry, to the center point. Okay, flip it over and do the same on the other side. Folding that point in to your center point on the long edge, and again on that side there, and burnish. So what you should have is something that looks like that, and from underneath looks like so. Put your piece of paper down and open out those folds again so that all four of them are flat on your mat. Lift up the top flap like so, and the fold that you've just created here, you're just going to reverse it. So just gently push it in like so. I'm just going to lift that up so that you can see what I've done. So I've taken this point and I'm just pushing it in and reversing that last fold. So you have something that looks like that after you've done your second one. Turn it over and do the same again with your other 2 points. Like so. And that is all it is. That is your Turkish map fold. It looks like that from the bottom. And that from either side. It looks a bit like a house. So as you can tell very readily, all I did to create the tucking in little journaling spot was I put a crease along that fold there and burnished it to create that point. And my piece of vellum and lace is just across the bottom there. Now you don't have to fold that piece down. if you wanted to, and I'm going to pull in a piece of paper here to act as a makeshift book page, what you could do is glue the whole of that area on the back to your page and leave it like so, so that it opens up like that. Or what you could do is you could put glue down this edge, along the bottom and this edge, and then a smidgen all the way up the centre to this centre point, so that when you have it on your page like so, if I just grab something that would mimic a tag, you could have a tuck spot. This card is a little bit too wide, but you would have a tuck spot that goes down inside that portion, or a pocket rather, and the same on that side. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you could cut a piece of card to cover the whole of the front. So if you measure from this point to the long edge and this point to that edge and cut it, you will end up with a piece of card that would cover the front of your map fold, so that you could glue this area to your book page and have that on the front as a booklet, so that you could either magnetize in here, or you could tie, before you glue it, you could put some thread or some ribbon there and tie it on the front so that it's like a little booklet. What I did with this little one was I measured those lengths and doubled it, and then folded my piece of card in half. I put my map fold inside the card, centering the point to the centre of the fold, and I glued this area and this area to my card. So effectively you end up with a little booklet, and that's all this is. It is a little booklet. So there's my card, and before I glued it, I stitched round the edge and inked it, and then put a little piece of lace on the top, and then inside I adhered a magnet between the front cover and my map, Turkish Map fold paper, and I put another magnet here which is hidden behind this little layering that I've done, so that when it closes too, it's magnetised, and that could go perfectly into a pocket or a tuck spot in your journal. So there are just a few ideas that I thought I would share with you that followed on from the one that I made yesterday for Jackie's journal. I hoped you like the idea. As I say, very easy, a very quick tutorial, but please give it a go and share some photos online if you will. It would be lovely to see what other ideas you come up with for how to use the Turkish Map book, Turkish Map fold. Thank you so much everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Have a lovely day. I hope you find some time for crafting. I've got the rest of the day to myself, so I'm super stoked. I've got the rest of the day to myself to craft and hopefully get a few more pages of decorating done in Jackie's journal. As I say, I will be posting a flip through or a share of this journal when I've finished it in a day or two. So take care everybody. Love you loads. Have a great day. Bye bye now.